was going to sync it. I was going to sync it with my phone footage. And in the middle of my recording on my phone, who calls me?
Mom.
Greenspan.
Green.
Greenspan calls me like he does every other day. If Greenspan's watching, please stop.
Yeah, Jeff Greenspan, former chief creative officer of BuzzFeed and executive at Facebook.
Very dependent on the opinions and feelings of 19-year-olds in the comedy community.
Very relying on that. He called me last weekend to tell me he made $60 from a gig. And I was like, okay, you were a millionaire.
Yeah.
What happened?
He's like, I don't know if I'm doing well because this dog walker doesn't really like this tag. It's like, this is a child. This guy barely graduated high school. I think he's got a GED. If he got a GED, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but it requires more names. I'm not going to drop the names. We'll talk about it off mic.
Sure.
Talk about it off mic. But yeah, Jeff's, he keeps asking me, come down to Chattanooga. Jeff Greenspan moved down to Chattanooga, Tennessee to do more stand-up, which, arguable if that was a good decision. And I keep telling him I have no interest. And I don't know if he thinks I'm kidding.
You know what's funny about it? You're not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
I know you're not kidding.
I'm very serious.
To acknowledge that before I move on is I love seeing the posters of the people who have like made it down there from New York.
It's no one I respect.
How do these people that I see at open mics? I'm surprised they made it out of Manhattan, much less made it all. How did you get down to Chattanooga? What kind of freight train did you hobo your way onto with your bindle? You know what I mean?
But they don't have the athleticism to hop onto a train either. So it's like, how'd you do it?
Who threw you onto this train? It's amazing. Yeah, I don't know how they made it down there, but God love them. Comedians will do anything. Stage time 8 states away, right? Is that how far Tennessee is from here?
I'm going to say yes, but I really don't know.
It's so far. I mean, it's a 12-hour drive.
Yes.
And none of them have cars.
None of them have cars. None of them have real IDs.
I love comedians. They're fucking addicts.
Right. And they say, no matter who you talk to, they think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
That's what's insane to me.
Yeah. It's a good experience.
It's fun. We're having fun.
We're having a good time is what it's about. It's making people feel something.
Right. Tom is 31 years old. He's wearing his hat backwards because he's just having a good time.
Look at me. I'm crazy.
He's a wild guy.
It's Sunday morning. I've had a full day. That's how I know that I'm 31.
Tell us about your day.
Do you want to know about my day?
Because you're successful, but your days are questionable.
I crush it. No. Questionable in what way?
I guess not really what you do. It's where you do it and what you consume.
Oh, you're talking about my diet.
I'm talking about diet, and I'm talking. Well, now
you want to get into
because one thing I was going to bring up is that because a lot of things have changed since the last time you've been on this podcast.
Sure,
we'll get into what each of those things are.
Sure.
But let's make no mistake about it. You're an Equinox kid now.
Oh, I'm Equinox. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. I was having some serious mental breakdowns going on, and I needed to exercise, and I hadn't exercised in months.
And mostly because of your hips.
My hips are bad.
Bad hips.
Bad hips. I have the hips of inbred German Shepherd.
Right.
They are falling apart. I'm gonna need a hip replacement in the next probably 5 years.
Bad. But you're not a full-blood kid. You're not a full-blood kid. You're not full Greek, not full Italian. You're a mix.
I mean, it's basically the same thing. It's basically inbreeding.
Yeah.
Greeks fuck Italians. It's like,
yeah.
Purebred Italian. Purebred Mediterranean, I should say.
You're purebred Mediterranean. Right.
Which is gross.
Yeah.
Bad for the hips. You got I got like 12 years of like strong athleticism, which is basically like the thoroughbred horses. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they shoot those horses in the head.
Eventually.
Because they can't, they're falling apart.
Right.
Someone should do that to me. I wish someone would just take me out.
Someone should mate you with a fawn. You don't mate with a fawn.
A fawn? A
deer? Yeah.
I like
not
that,
a baby
though.
deer.
Yeah, I've been trying
that
to
would be crazy.
I've been trying to fuck baby deers for a long time. That's how I hurt my hip.
You used to be quick. Yeah. You used to have the agility. Not anymore.
I used to be able to hunt them down in the woods, just smell them.
So what you do this morning?
What did I do? I mean, I gotta. You don't want to get into this.
Kind of do.
I got a ruthless morning routine, especially on the weekends. Get up, cold shower.
Yeah.
Meditate.
Yeah.
Write.
Yeah.
Work out.
Yeah.
I ordered groceries on Amazon to pick up from Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Later, I'm gonna make a fucking lamb shank.
Is
that surprising to you at all?
No, because you're a Greek kid.
Greek kid.
That's why I expect when I go into your apartment, and the first thing I noticed, I was like, wow, there's no lamb spigot in this apartment.
Yeah.
For a Greek kid, lamb pit?
Just a lamb roast with me just cranking it. Just crank it. I have to clean that up before people come over.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, why is this tzatziki sauce all over the floor? And like, that's what I come. I come tzatziki sauce.
Right, there's lemon zest.
It's just I put the lemons on my nipples and I grind out the sauce, the lemon sauce. That's what I call it. I don't call it juice. I call it lemon sauce.
The sauce, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm making a lamb shank later today. I got to leave, go pick up those groceries. I'm just having a day, kid. I'm just living it hard.
Your lifestyle, you're just matching what every big podcast says to do.
Yeah.
Take a cold shower.
Yeah.
Say something positive about yourself in the mirror.
I do that.
Order your groceries online. You're just a walking Gary Vee.
If I don't, people make fun of me for this shit. If I don't do these things, my brain will fall apart.
Yeah, no, I know. I've been around you when you haven't done these things.
I had insomnia for like 2 months.
Does this have anything to do with you not eating any more anchovies or sardines?
You know, I actually looked it up, and there's a keto flu. You've probably heard of this.
Wait, what?
Keto. Like
when I'm with it. Yeah,
you're with it. If you go into ketosis, it's called the keto flu, where your body's like all fucked up.
Yeah.
And you don't sleep as well.
No.
Because you don't have carbohydrates.
Right, and you can't hit rapid eye movement.
Yeah, you don't get deep sleep. Or you get deep sleep and then you wake up, cortisol's through the roof. I looked all this shit up. No one wants to hear about it.
Very similar to why you don't sleep well when you drink alcohol. Same exact reason.
Same idea. So I stopped the keto shit. So it's kind of related to the sardines. The sardines were like a keto thing. But
the sardines were a keto thing. I thought that was just a greasy Mediterranean thing.
It happened to luckily be both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it checked up both boxes.
Yeah, I was like, how can I do all of these things at once? It's like, I'm just going to drink olive oil and eat sardines and have a lamb spigot.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it all makes sense now.
It all makes sense.
So why don't you tell the viewers, Tom, because viewers are listeners, because I'll tell you one thing, people still aren't really watching. So tell the listeners, because you now work out at Equinox.
I'm a big-time Equinox guy.
Big-time Equinox guy. Orchard Street, I'm guessing?
Orchard Street.
Yeah. Nice Equinox.
It's a nice one.
You were working out at the Chinatown YMCA.
Chinatown YMCA.
Now, Tom, can you tell us what the big difference is between those two places?
Oh, the biggest difference is there's no one quoting Confucius in the locker room. That's the biggest difference. I would walk in there and they would say, it's the year of the dragon. And I'm like, I'm just trying to lift these dumbbells. There are way less, let's start, cockroaches at Equinox. You could,
yes.
As part of the membership, they say no cockroaches.
Wait, is that really a part of the thing?
No.
Oh, I was going to say.
It's kind of assumed.
It is kind of assumed, but you never know.
But at the Chinatown YMCA, a lot of cockroaches in the sauna.
Where you don't want cockroaches.
Where you don't want, it makes sense though. It's hot. It's a little bit humid.
Right.
I was in there one day and it was me and it's a small room, probably about,
this is a great story. I love this
story. It's probably like an 8x8 room.
It's a sauna.
It's me and 17 naked Chinese men just screaming at each other. Like it's not.
One thing about the Chinese, volume control isn't there.
Right. I like how you start that. One thing about the Chinese. That's a good way to start almost any sentence.
Right.
You should just start.
I do talk about the Chinese a lot.
You do. As I hack up into the mic. Me and about 17 Chinese guys, they're all screaming. I'm trying to sit there and relax.
Right.
And it just, the biggest cockroach you've ever seen just walks in the middle of the thing. And I see it before all they do. And I'm like, this is gross, but you know what? I can't.
Yeah, that's lunch for them.
Yeah. And a guy gets up, takes off his flip-flop and just whacks the shit out of it.
Yeah. They put the flip-flop back on?
And he put the flip-flop back on.
There you go.
And I'm like, that's the difference between Orchard Street, Equinox, and the Chinatown YMCA.
Only 2 blocks away from each other.
It's very close. Also, all of the dumplings, fuck. I've ruined the joke.
You ruined the joke?
All of the dumbbells.
You said the punch in the beginning?
Yeah. All of the dumplings all of the dumbbells are made out of dumplings. That was, Jesus
and
Christ.
Also, a strong joke.
It's not funny.
Not only did you mess up the timing, it also wasn't a great joke.
Do you know how excited I was when I stumbled into that thought and was like, I'm going to say, this is how rusty, I haven't done comedy in a long time. I
and
mean,
you're
not that it
doing just as well as you did before.
Not that it matters.
Right. It doesn't matter, Tom.
Not that it matters.
Right.
I would have fucked it up if I'd been doing comedy 3 times a day for. I was looking at my recordings last year because I'm trying to cartoonize. Some
I
stuff.
noticed.
Yeah. I sent you one of them.
Yeah.
I got up like almost 300 times.
Yeah, we were doing well.
2019. It's crazy.
I know. And we just could. How many times do you think we got up this year?
I mean, I've gotten up maybe 40. 50.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 50.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's not good. But new things, huh? Learn new things.
Right, we're doing this. We're learning about HVAC files, and you're talking with the head of NFL Inside. Set up your thing.
Yeah. That virtual studio. That we're creating. You know what I'm thinking about it as? There's like the product distribution cycle where it's like you gotta make the thing, you gotta test the thing, you gotta try it out. Like comedy, we're in that phase now where we're getting really good at distribution. I think that's what all this shit is.
What do you mean we? Like comedians or us, like our friends?
I think comedians in general are just having to figure out how to get to people using technology a little bit more.
I think we're getting there. Like people are starting to realize, but most people refuse to adapt. They rather do a show in a park to 7 people not paying attention to them than put stuff on the internet. Because putting the stuff on the internet would require them to write new jokes. They could keep saying the same jokes in the park.
Right. But if you decide to not do that and you decide to say, I'm going to package this shit up as good as I can.
Right.
Push it out and then start fresh, which is kind of like what I'm doing. I'm like, I'm just going to use these 3 or 4 months to like go back through things and post stuff and learn how that works. But
there's no blueprint as to what exactly to do. It's just like this is what the idea should be.
But any professional stand-up comedian, like, oh, I'm putting out an hour every year. Like, you put the thing out, you wipe the slate clean, you start from scratch. Like, you have to go through that cycle of like starting from scratch.
Right, but who's really doing that? The best comedians on the planet. The problem is people at our level and below us are doing that also, but they don't have any jokes. So they're doing an hour of nothing, filming it, and putting it out. Who is this for?
Right. Yeah, it's not for anyone.
It's for you.
It's for them. But you could do that with like one bit, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing saying, the model was like, okay, make an hour, put that out. Like an hour, no one the fuck watches an hour. Like you were talking about the Instagram. Like doesn't give you a like, doesn't even give you a view if someone doesn't watch it for 3 seconds.
Right.
Like, you know, make a 15-second bit, put that out, see if it works. I don't know. The whole model's changing. Does anyone, do comedy fans listen to this?
Not really.
No?
I mean, kind of. People that listen to this like comedy, but not this much. Not to the amount we're getting into it.
Yeah. Am I the first person who's been back on the pod?
Yeah, you're the first repeat guest.
Hot diggity dick.
There you go.
Hot diggity dick. 2 dicks swinging in the wind.
That's right.
Here it
Circumcised?
is. Am I circumcised?
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Really?
Extra.
Extra circumcised.
They took my
There's
balls
no
out.
skin.
Yeah, I got. It's just a sheath of dick. It's just bleeding.
Because your dad, doctor, Italian kid, Catholic kid,
big time Catholic.
Yeah,
Big fan
which
of
to
God.
me is kind of an oxymoron.
Catholic.
A Catholic doctor.
A Catholic doctor.
Because how do you believe in so much science but yet believe in so much religion?
I think about that when he sends me these podcasts all the time.
Your dad listens to pods?
He's big time Jesus guy.
Does Jesus pods? I wouldn't. Why not?
He's in the men's ministry at our local Catholic church.
Now, Tom, what is that?
He loves God. That's what it is. Any other questions?
Yeah, a men's ministry, in 1604, that's looked at as very powerful people. In 2020, it sounds like a group of closeted men.
It's very confrontational to a lot of the feminist stuff, too. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
I was seeing this gal, and she was like, why aren't women allowed? And I was like, because they can't use their brains. And that's pretty obvious.
It's because women are dumb.
It's because they would ruin the conversation by trying to talk about baking or something. It's like, we're talking about God, Kathleen. Right. Shut up.
It all started with Adam and Eve. Maybe you don't know the story.
Did you hear how Eve fucked everything up? Holly, she's not listening to this.
I also don't like that your dad's a doctor yet has the time to be a part of a men's ministry.
Do you think doctors should be treating people all the time?
Yeah.
I'll tell him you said that.
You have to be.
Hey, Rich wants to know why you're not working on Sunday morning.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of doctor is your dad? Family med?
He was a geriatrician So he treated like older people and like a family.
he treated people named Jerry.
That's very funny. I can't believe I haven't thought of that. He treated Jerry Seinfeld and he treated Jerry Rice. Those were his two clients.
Right, very similar.
Two very big clients. They needed a lot of attention.
Right.
The two most
Took him most of the time.
Most of his time was flying back and forth between San Francisco and New York. But yeah, he was a geriatrician, and then now he's like on the healthcare side of things. So like he helps,
Like the admin side?
Insurance companies like build their.
Oh, so he's not practicing.
He's not practicing.
That's why he has the time.
Plenty of time. He's on the business side.
God, what a boring life that must be to work in health insurance and then go to your men's ministry.
Rich, a lot of people's lives just don't make any sense to me. But he's a man of God.
So, what I don't understand is what they get together at the men's ministry and they just go, God, huh? And they're like, pretty fucking sweet.
How about this Jesus guy? This Jesus guy, he's got some good ideas.
Yeah.
It's all him and other Italian guys. Yeah, this fucking Jesus guy. He's fucking turning fish into other fish, and he's doing wine. He's making water wine. Fucking crazy, eh?
And he's fucking married to a whore, huh?
Oh! His mother's never got banged. Are you kidding me? Fucking Jesus Christ came from a virgin. Virgin. Oh, there's a Jew sneaks in there. It's like, are you Jewish?
He's trying to get the inside tips and bring them back to the Jews.
Wait, no, I'm not Jewish. Oh, fuck. I'm Italian. Oh, fuck. Blows his cover. It's like that scene in Inglourious Bastards where the guy holds up the wrong three fingers. They're like so close.
They start holding a gun under the table.
Wait, no, I'm Italian. I swear to God, I love a pizza pie and knishes. Fuck. I'm definitely Italian, and I love a Jesus Christ. He's my Lloyd and Savior. Fuck, Lloyd and Savior.
Now your mom, not Catholic.
She was raised Orthodox.
Yeah, Greek Orthodox.
Greek, which
very similar to me.
Do you talk about that on this pod?
Not really.
No.
Well, what do you want to know about it?
I mean, I don't want to know anything.
Yeah, there's not really much.
I definitely don't fucking care about it. Your life.
Yeah, right.
That's why I'm here being interviewed.
The Russians and the Greeks are two very different people, yet with the same religious ideologies.
Yeah, I mean the Orthodox, right? The masses are like 2 hours long.
An average Sunday service is 3 hours long. 3 hours because everything's done in threes. That's the lucky number. So like if you go to a Russian Orthodox wedding, they do the wedding 3 times.
You're kidding.
They do the whole service 3 times.
You're fucking kidding me.
Dead serious. That's why Catholic wedding. Going to a Catholic, first of all, you Catholics, trash.
Yeah, they are.
If you go to a Russian church, you have to wear like a suit. If you don't wear a suit, you have to like wear a tucked-in shirt, button-down shirt, collar. I've been to Catholic services where people are wearing Yankees jerseys, and they were like.
That is probably most of your pod listeners.
That probably is.
They are Catholic Yankee fans who teach gym class at a high school in the Northeast.
You're really hitting home on my demo.
If that is not your demo, I don't know what is. And they have a tattoo of some kind of Yankees logo on their calf.
Yeah.
If that's not them, I don't know what is. Probably the pinwheel one. You know what I mean? The Yankee logo with like the hat
and the baseball bat with the hat. Yep.
With the,
yeah, that's the expensive one too.
That's a lot of work.
Right.
Not just the interlocking logo.
That's why. But Catholic trash, you still think you're above people. Like it's a very odd. You are the bottom level, but you think you're on top.
It's a very arrogant. I should say that I haven't been to like a Catholic mass. I used to be pretty into it.
Well, your dad's a part of the men's ministry.
Sure, they pushed it hard. I haven't been in probably like four or 5 years.
Oh, that's.
But I used to go
better
to college every week with my roommate.
Well, Duke is a Catholic.
Duke's
not Catholic.
It's Presbyterian, I think.
Oh, that's not what I thought it was either. What's Boston College?
That's Catholic.
Is Boston College Catholic? What's Notre Dame?
Catholic. My parents really wanted me to go to a Catholic high school or a Catholic college, and I...
You hit half. Oh, no, not Catholic Duke.
No, Presbyterian. Or...
Yeah, I really don't know what the difference is there.
Shit. Who cares?
Protestant. No, is that what I'm thinking of?
Protestant is Presbyterian. They're the same thing. The Presbyterian is a sect of
I don't understand any of it. Lutheran. I went to a Lutheran nursery school. My mom ran a Lutheran nursery school, but we're not Lutheran.
All
I
run by
really
guys
don't
named
get
Luther.
it. Yeah, people don't talk about it. All black guys.
Yeah, Luther Vandross. The one guy named Luther who I know. And there's also a show on Netflix, I think,
Oh, is there?
called Luther.
I'll take your word.
I don't really watch a whole lot of stuff.
Catholic trash is like you wear a Yankees jersey into
Yeah.
to the service, and they'll be like, "Look at that fucking trash bag. It says Jeter on the back. That ain't authentic. That ain't an authentic Yankees jersey.
It's not a majestic jersey. You can tell from here that he bought it off.
That's some fucking
Craigslist.
China shit. That's what that is, and not in my church.
Not in my church. At my church. In my church.
It's still the Jew. It's still the
In
Jew
my
in the-
church, hey, in my church, what we do is we wear Yankee jerseys that are authentic, okay? Only Don Mattingly jerseys in here, I'll tell you. Do you love Jesus or not? If you love Jesus, this is turning into Christopher Walken. Yeah. This is all over the place.
Mess. This pod is a mess.
It's a mess. I love Christopher Walken jerseys and Don Mattingly. Oy vey, get out of my church.
My girlfriend's sister got married. Now, I don't know what religion they really are, but they were like, both of them were standing up there, and the person running the service said, all right, you guys do? And they're like, fucking sure.
Some of these,
like, all right.
Oh, it's the best when because you don't know like what the service is going to be when you go to one of these weddings. Like
I'm
I've been
very
where it's
nervous.
Like, it's like I've been to weddings where it's like an hour and a half because I don't even know what religion that one was, and then others are like 15 minutes, and they're like, you guys still like each other, right? And they're like, yeah, like fucking great, get out of here, and you go get drunk.
Right. They write their own vows, and it's like, all right, Matthew, would you like to say your vows? He's like, yeah, I like how you rub my back when I throw up when I drink too much.
If that's not your demo, I don't know what is.
Michelle, can you read your vows? I wrote the same thing. I wrote the same thing.
Except hold my hair back. I love it when he holds my hair back when I'm throwing up. He always has scrunchies on his wrist for this exact moment.
Hey, like, it's definitely not gay.
I can't tell you. Oh yeah, a couple of my buddies have been the best man at a few weddings, and they wrote their vows like literally on the way.
Oh, really?
To the church, and I remember my buddy's wife. They're like at the altar, and she reads these like the most beautiful vows.
Women put so much thought into it.
So much thought. Like, you are my home. You are where my
You're my
heart is.
rock. That's a big one.
Yeah, the rock.
Love
she,
rocks.
She was quoting like Janis Joplin or something. And it was like,
so they're trash.
but it was like perfect. It was like good.
That's how you're trash.
That's how trash.
It was Janis Joplin, but tasteful.
But it was like the right quote. It was like the right. But she put a lot of thought into it. It was like printed out. It was like laminated. And then like, all right, would you like to go? And he like takes it out, and it's like crumbled, and he's got like barbecue sauce on it. And it's just like, I really like you a lot, and he fumbled all over it. It was pretty bad, but they got married. It was a great wedding. Probably one of the top weddings I've ever been to. They had an In-N-Out truck at the wedding.
There, I was gonna say they had to have a good cocktail hour or food trucks at the end of the wedding.
Oh,
that's
big time Jew wedding too, and they did. The hoisting. What's that? The Torah. The
I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're saying. On the chairs.
Alutenu. I don't even know what the fuck it was.
Yeah, I don't know
you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're saying.
That was the best.
Oh, that's fun. They broke the glass?
They broke the glass. They did the whole thing. It was like a 200-person wedding.
Let me ask you something. Was it a Saturday day wedding?
I think it. Yeah, it was like a twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got after
cheap. Just the cheaper option.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, this was like, they went all out. It was like on the coast in Santa Monica.
Oh, California wedding.
California. Yeah, 200 people.
These Fox Lane kids?
Fox Lane. Her family's from California.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jew in Fox Lane.
Big time.
Oh, yeah?
There's a lot of them.
Oh.
I probably went to like 13 bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, I went to a lot.
I have like a stack of yarmulkes in my childhood bedroom. From all of the bar mitzvahs.
Do you still have the bar mitzvah sweatshirts?
That's a good question. I don't think I do. But I have the yarmulkes, which I like trade out like trading cards. You know?
Oh, yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
With the name and everything. But then you had to wear the sweatshirt the next day to school to like rub it in the face of the kids who didn't get invited.
Right. Yeah, I remember there was one that I really wanted to get invited to because I heard there was going to be a pancake buffet.
Wow.
Wouldn't that have been nice?
That would have been fantastic.
I didn't like the kid at all, but I was like, I love pancakes.
Pancake buffet.
Pancake buffet, let me in. I will become Jewish for a pancake buffet. I can denounce Christianity for blueberry pancakes.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, good wedding. What were we talking about?
What are we talking about?
We were talking about
Catholic
we're
schools,
talking about
weddings.
we're talking about
Yankees jersey.
The Yankee jersey. I think did we exhaust that topic?
I think we might have. Oh, what else is trash with the Catholic? I haven't gone to too many Catholic services. I've gone for like weddings and funerals. Here's the thing I've noticed. I've only been to 3 Catholic weddings.
Yeah.
At 2 of them,
Sure.
the exes of the groom showed up not wearing like nice clothes. I don't know if that says something about my friends. I don't know if that says...
That's not a religion thing. The exes...
That might have been a Long Island
exes
thing.
showed up to the wedding. Yeah. That is wild.
In the back. And they're like... But also, like, there's not that many people. This isn't like...
smoking a cigarette. Just like...
Vaping. It's Long Island.
Vaping. Just double vapes. In the stiletto heels or something. Just like, this motherfucker. Hey, Jerry. Jim's outside. He needs to see you for a checkup.
She just smoked on his vape and said, he's gay.
He's definitely gay, and he can't get his dick hard sometimes when he gets too drunk.
Yeah, so
that has nothing to do with... I don't think that has anything
to do with
religion.
Catholics?
No. That's just your trash people. I mean, that's kind of nice if you're close with your ex still. I don't understand.
Oh, no. I'm a big cut off your ex
just
guy.
Cut it.
Yeah.
What's there to gain?
Nothing.
Friendship? Are you kidding me?
I'm done. I need less friends.
Exactly. I need less people asking me to do their podcasts.
Who's asking you to do their podcast besides me?
That's why I came here today.
Right, you have nothing to do.
The one person who asked me to do their podcast, I'm sick of it.
Right, and you're my backup. I've been very upfront with you that you are the backup.
I know. Taleli couldn't make it.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
Yeah, fuck
now
you.
I got this fucking grease. It was going to be a grease ball either way.
It was Nick Taleli, monosyllabic first name, Italian last name. He's more trash than me by a lot.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I wanted to dig into with him, because he's like a weird sect of trash.
Yeah.
Because like suburban, he's suburban single mom trash.
Right.
But like people he grew up with still did well. You know what I'm saying?
Did they?
Like it wasn't like
that.
it wasn't like he went to a ghetto school. Like he went to an okay school.
Did he? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Yeah. I mean, everything about him says that like if you went to his house and you like dug into the couch cushions, you'd find a switchblade.
Oh, somewhere. Right.
Like somewhere would just be like a loose.
And it's for his mom to protect herself from the guy she's dating.
Or one of the guys that she was dating left it in the couch.
That's a good one.
That kind of thing. Or like a vial of, I don't know, like black tar heroin or something. Not a lot.
They can't
Not a
afford
lot.
that.
They couldn't afford that?
I don't think syringes they could afford.
Syringes. That's a big word for someone on
For
Long Island.
trash.
Hey, you got them needles? You got needles? Like, I can put some shit in? Yeah, for trash. He'll be a good episode.
It'll be a good episode.
That's what this is. This is just a primer for just hyping that one up.
Right. I got a fucking guy in his early 30s wearing a backwards hat.
I'm fucking wild. I'll do anything. Yeah, we were talking about Equinox. Yeah, things have changed.
Things have changed. What else has changed, Tom?
I've been meditating big time. Took a transcendental meditation class.
Is that big? Is that a big change for you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Because you were always a big meditation
I did, but it didn't really take... It's not that big of a change. I mean, I went down to North Carolina for like a long weekend.
Buddy owns a brewery.
Buddy owns a brewery.
Yeah.
His wife is down there with him. Yeah, he's doing well. North Carolina's it was like Trump country. It was like big time.
Yeah.
Because it was like in the sticks. Like it's not in like Raleigh.
Right.
You know? Like they were... This thing's still on, right?
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half outside of Raleigh, which is like the hub of liberal America down there. And no one was wearing masks.
No
one wears. It was like they were like really nice about it too, but like I could tell that they were like this pussy. Like I went to the pharmacy to grab something, and
the pharmacist was like, "Look at this fucking bitch."
The pharmacist was like, "Do you need any Vagisil for your pussy while you're here? You stupid cuck." They were so nice about it. Like, oh yeah, you probably believe that this whole thing's actually happening, don't you? It's like, yeah, well.
I know a guy who just headlined a comedy club in Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, that's trash.
And
that's a totally different type of
He
trash.
said not only did they fill it at half capacity, he was like, "Oh, so what are we doing? How's the capacity going to work?" And the owner said, "Well, like 98%. We want there to be some room."
98%.
And he was like, "What?" No mask, no nothing.
Really?
Waitress with mask on the chin.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They're all just going through the motions.
It kind of felt like a time machine. Like he went back to 2018.
Yeah, I mean, I was in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. There's nothing about that place that was respecting.
No, is your friend trash? Because you were both Duke kids.
No, he's pretty well to do. He's in like a he's in some like beer incubate, like brewery incubator place that like he had to put like a business plan together. And
It's
like,
a legit.
It's like a legit business
operation.
Yeah. But Greenville, that's where fucking Clemson is.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, that is my least favorite place in the country.
Well, I don't know if the listeners know this.
Yeah.
You played baseball at Duke University.
I sure did.
Yeah.
Poorly, but I did.
He had good hips back then for 2 years.
For 2 years, good hips. I got injured. It was a mess. But I was...
Oh, this is a great story of what you're about to tell.
Like this is my freshman year, and I was like starting as a freshman.
Which is good.
I was on like a pretty good clip. If you look at my freshman numbers, they were fine. And I remember being in the outfield. I was playing left field.
Yeah.
And there was probably like 5,000 people at this game. It was like the most amount of people
It's a big deal.
Yeah. It's like the only thing going on in Greenville, South Carolina.
And they're not a great team, Clemson, right? They're good, but they're not like...
They're like top 25.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. They're very good. I mean, the ACC's...
ACC is a historically good division.
And they were, reading out all of the names of the players on the Duke roster, and they came to Luciano, and the announcer said it, and then the whole left field section behind me was like, "What are you? Hey, Luciano, what are you? Some kind of Mexican? What are you? Some kind of Mexican?" They couldn't understand what it was, and I didn't say. I think they were genuinely confused.
Right.
I honestly think that they did not ever meet an Italian person.
They put a vowel at the end of the name. They think it's Mexican.
Hey, I think you misspelled it. I think it's Lucianez. Are you sure it's not Lucianez with an N-Y over there?
They know N-Y.
Where
they know the Spanish alphabet.
I'm pretty convinced you missed an N-Y on your name. It's Lucianez. Please put that back on there. Oh, it was the worst. It was one of the worst games of my career. I didn't play. I struck out the first 2 at bats, and I didn't play for the rest of the year. I was having like a hot streak. And
when was this in the season?
The end, middle.
Oh, end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was. Oh man, that coach was a lunatic.
You told me those are some good stories.
That guy was a literal psychopath.
You had pee buckets in the dugout, correct?
He had a pee bucket in the dugout.
Yeah, correct. Just his.
Yeah. His pee bucket. He refused. He thought he was like Bobby Knight or like Coach K.
Without the success.
Because
you were not a good team back then. Duke baseball good now.
Duke baseball that year we were like flirting with the top 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had like 9 guys drafted that year. We were like a good team, but the ACC is like Miami,
right?
UNC,
Florida State.
Like we played against like Yonder Alonso.
Yep.
Who's on the White Sox now. Yonder Alonso. There was like 3 other guys on the Miami team who have been in the big leagues for the last like 10 years. But anyway, he refused to pee in the same place that any of the players peed in.
And this is a power thing. This is a power dynamic.
Oh yeah, just
thing.
a lunatic. Mm-hmm. So he got one of the assistant coaches who was basically like an intern. He was like 24, you know what I mean, 23,
right?
To get a bucket for him to pee in during the games because he refused to leave the dugout to go to the porta potty where the players peed in. That was like. So we'd like see he would just take out his dick in the middle of the dugout.
Was it for you to see his dick? Like, I don't understand what the logic behind this is.
I used the opportunity.
Right.
I was like, what? How can I see a grown man's penis up close and personal? No, it was, no, he just wanted to.
And how far is the porta potty from the dugout?
50 yards.
Right.
But like really close. So, and then we had one at our home field. And he would not take out his own piss bucket. So he would have someone else. So by the end of the year, there was just like a fucking full bucket of piss that was just standing idle.
A stale bucket of piss.
Below the underground, what was it called? We called it the dungeon where we kept all of our like gear and shit.
Right.
And he kept it in the back. And it just smelled like piss by the end of the year. It was. So
lunacy. He would walk into the storage closet to take a piss. He
piss.
Wouldn't walk the same distance to the porta potty.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah. He wouldn't feed us on trips.
Well, you didn't deserve it because
we didn't
lose.
deserve it because we lost to UNC Greensboro.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
not good.
Yeah, they're not very good. We lost to them 2 hours of. We wouldn't eat for like entire days. It's crazy on road trips where we lost. It was wild. He got fired, or he got like bought out or some shit. I mean, I feel like if this ever got out, because all of the Duke baseball guys, like, we share these stories, and we should be like,
Right.
we should do a podcast or like a documentary on the lunacy of this fucking guy.
Yeah, but in college sports, like, that's whatever story. Like, this is a very common story.
But yeah, but this was the time like right before social media was like a big thing.
Right, so it couldn't really get out.
We weren't allowed to have Facebook. Like, Facebook was kind of like
Oh.
just kind of like getting going at that time. So he made sure that like none of us were allowed. None of us had Facebook. We weren't allowed to join frats. We weren't allowed to like be on like the internet, like doing social media shit.
But even now and today, what's the story with the Wichita State
Yeah.
basketball coach punched one of the players in the face,
Yeah.
and then they
That-
bought him out for $7.5 million.
That I'm on board with. That I like. I like a good punch in the face.
But
Just-
that's also what turned you on.
that is. I mean, I need to watch or be part of being punched in the face in order to come.
Right.
And that's a different podcast. It's my personal podcast. Punch me in the dick, please, with Tom Luciano. But yeah, I mean, it's the same shit. It's still going on, but it was at that time where it was like everyone had it going on. Like Coach K like makes players like cry. Like Brian Zubek.
Wait, is this true?
Oh yeah.
Is
I've
Coach
got-
K a big dick?
Oh, he's a huge
Oh, I didn't know.
asshole. I've got Coach K stories for days.
Yeah?
Well, I've got one really good one. And the other ones are pretty meh. But
I mean, you're not going to tell it now?
You want me to tell? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
So
This was from your time there,
The
or
first-
is this like an urban legend type of thing?
no, this was like me with Coach K.
You've been with Coach Chooch. I've known you for 4 years.
You've heard this. You had to have heard this.
I don't know if I've heard this.
Oh, so freshman year we had study hall at like 9:00 every Sunday morning. The freshmen did, and we all had like
All sports or just baseball?
just baseball. Our
Okay.
coach would do this to make sure that like we did not have fun on Saturday, basically.
Yeah, this is a very common.
We'd have a
sports
lift
thing.
at like 6 a.m. on
Yeah.
Sunday, and then like study hall. It was brutal. But of course, we like went out drinking anyway. And we get in the elevator to go to the study hall, which is like in the same building as the basketball locker room and all of their offices and shit.
Right.
And Coach K had priority in the elevator. So we're like, we're going to go up to the study hall, which is on floor 3.
Okay.
We press up floor 3, and the elevator goes down to the basketball facilities. So we're like, what the fuck? And we're hungover. Like, we're like
Right.
blatantly fucking drunk. And Coach K, who's a big dude, he's like
Oh, yeah?
6'4".
Really?
He's a big dude.
Are you sure?
I swear to God.
We're
Look
going
it
to
up.
have to look that up.
Look it up. And he's with 2 of his assistant coach cronies. I think it might have been Chris Collins at the time, who are also
That's a big guy.
big guy.
Right.
And they're in this small elevator with me and another freshman on the team. And they look at us. They see us in the elevator at like fucking 8:30 on a Sunday.
Right.
Looking hungover.
Awful. You had hair back then, though.
I had beautiful hair.
Yeah.
And he looks at us and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing in my elevator?"
Coach K said that?
Coach K said that to me and this other 18-year-old kid.
But this isn't a private elevator.
No.
Anyone in the building could use
No.
the elevator.
No, but it's Sunday. I mean, he was fucking with us. He was like definitely like joking around, like
Okay.
Yeah. He was like, "What the fuck are you doing in my elevator?" And his coaches are like fucking laughing. So he gets in, he goes to, floor 4, which is where his offices are. So skips over our floor 3 study hall shit because he's got priority.
But how does the elevator know that Coach K does he have like his own swipe
he has
card?
his own badge. Yeah. I mean, you got to badge in to get to the athlete elevator
Okay,
anyway.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so the whole way up, he's like, "What fucking team are you on?" And we're like, "Baseball." And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing in my elevator, you baseball players?" Like, Coach McNally, that's your coach, right? He's like, "I'm going to tell him that I had 2, you guys freshmen?" He's like, "I had 2 freshmen in here fucking drunk off their fucking ass at 8:30 in the morning in my fucking elevator." And his coaches are fucking
Dying?
dying. They're like trying to keep it together. And he gets off at floor 4 and like he looks back at us and he goes, "Don't ever get in my fucking elevator ever again. It's the only elevator to get to the."
There's no other way to get there.
There's no other way. He's like, "If I ever see you in my fucking elevator again, I'm telling your coach." And the doors close, and of course, like we've gone past our floor, and then we go back down, and we're like, "That was fucking wild." He was just cursing. He was just literally ripping us apart.
Right.
For 45 seconds or whatever it was because we got in his elevator.
And that's why you don't take elevators to this day.
I don't take elevators.
You walked up to this apartment, 28 floors.
Yep. And I've been drunk ever since. That was 12 years ago, and man, I'm still fucked up. Yeah. I mean, he made there was a story about him making Brian Zubek cry.
Really?
Brian Zubek's the center on the national championship team in 2010. Yeah, he would just get in his face. He would have to probably stand on a couple books to get in his face, but scream at him.
Really?
He would make everyone on the team break down in some way or another.
Isn't it true? Were you there when JJ Redick was there?
I was there right
at the end.
Right after he graduated.
Oh, right after he graduated. Wasn't it true that he played every game high as hell?
I believe. I think I heard something like that.
I think that's the rumor.
I wasn't a Duke basketball head or anything like that.
No, you were just I gotta get out of this ghetto of Fox Lane.
This Fox Lane ghetto of Bedford, New York.
Right.
Which
Good
is a
town.
Beautiful town.
Yeah. Oh my
I had
God,
nothing
gorgeous.
to do with it. I also wasn't born there. Pound Ridge, name of my town.
Yeah, that's a trash town, correct?
No.
That's still
really,
nice?
It's really nice.
Oh.
It's right on the border of Connecticut, Greenwich.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. I had nothing to do with it. My parents, my dad, doctor.
Right.
But it was weird.
At the time, real doctor.
At the time, actually practicing medicine, not
Right.
the fraud that he is now.
Right.
And I tell him that. I've got a whole list of things I need to tell him for Thanksgiving. 1, you're a fucking fraud. 2, who the fuck do you think you are? 3, turkey's fantastic.
Does he cook?
He's a great cook.
Wear an apron?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No.
He comes off as an apron guy to me.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
He's got that vibe. Really together, really organized, very conservative, very controlling.
Right.
But yeah, he cooks. What were we talking about?
Pound Ridge.
Growing up in Pound Ridge,
Connecticut.
My high school was half. There were gang fights. Because it was Mount Kisco is there's a lot of low income housing in Mount Kisco and
Yes,
Bedford Hills.
I know this.
Yeah, so that was half the school, and then the other half of the school was
So they shipped those kids in.
No, it was just
that's a part of the
it was a
district.
big enough school district where you just had
I thought
different
Fox
elementary
Lane,
schools.
Aren't you Class C sports?
No, we were A or double A.
Oh,
back
really?
And forth.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it was 1,500, 1,600 kids, as in the school. My high
Oh,
school.
really? Okay.
My graduating class had 400 or 500.
I only
kids.
knew one girl from Fox Lane, last name Delaney. So I was like, oh, it's just an Irish trash town. Then I
Yeah.
met you, trash.
You can't pin it down.
So yeah, it was
It was very diverse. It was a diverse high school. I would say that there were a lot of kids who didn't speak any English.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what do they speak?
Guatemalan, which is a language.
I don't know. I was going to say what they speak. Portuguese? What,
No, there's Guatemalan language.
So you were really the tallest kid in school.
I was one of the taller. Yeah, it wasn't a tall.
Bunch of Guatemalans.
Guatemalan people. They are short and stocky and can work.
Oh my God.
My job as a landscaping dude,
Mm-hmm.
right out of college, I was fucking digging holes for this tree planting company,
Okay.
and I worked with. It was exclusively Guatemalan dudes.
Well, yeah.
They were all 5'3", and would.
And you
just-
went to high school with them.
Yep, we all went to the same high school. They were 45. We graduated the same year. They all had families that they would bring to class. The moms would be breastfeeding while we were doing geometry. As freshmen.
Let me ask you a question. You had so many Guatemalans in your high school. After school, you would go and you played football and baseball.
Right.
After school, did they stick around and serve ices in the hallways?
They would actually. Yeah, they would get those ices and they would sprinkle the juice on top.
Right.
Yeah, they would do that, and then they would also hang out on the corner with their shirt just perched on top of their belly, which is a very bodega thing move. What else? They would also practice stacking bricks, because
Right.
that was their real sport. Which you would think, based on how they work, they would have practiced it from such an early age.
Right.
That's what I wanted to get to, is how effective these guys were. I think some of them were 60 or 70 years old, and they would outwork me.
Oh, yeah.
As
Amazing work ethic
Oh
with
my
the Central
God.
Americans.
Just the athleticism of these guys of digging holes and moving rocks. And I was fresh out of being a D1 athlete.
Right.
And they would out hustle me. And it was I was trying.
Yeah, but what's their average? You had a good average. Maybe if they just hit a little more.
They couldn't hit above 250 in the ACC.
And that's the problem.
That's why they never made it. And I would tell them that.
Right. They're too busy hitting for power. Really, just hit for contact. Power will come.
Hey, just square it up. Just hit it to right field.
Right.
Just serve it out there and everything else. Just line drives. And if you get one by accident, it'll go.
That's the problem with immigrants.
They're always trying to hit home runs.
They don't spend enough time on the tee. They're too busy working for their families. Why don't you hit a batting cage?
Hey, the fundamentals are what you need to focus on, Felipe. And that is the problem with your rock stacking.
Rock stacking.
That's
what a brick is.
Rocks. They're just glorified rocks.
You know how Native Americans, when they're born, Iroquois at least, they'll put a little lacrosse stick in their hands.
Would they do that?
Yeah, the Iroquois, when the baby's
sense.
born, they make a little custom lacrosse stick.
It sounds like one of your racist proverbs that you just...
No, this is a real thing.
This is true?
Yeah, this is a very real thing.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is when Guatemalans are born, they put a little cement spreader in their hand.
I mean, that's how good they are at stacking.
Right, they're
bricks.
fucking good at it.
Yeah.
That and icing cakes. Not of Guatemalans. Maybe if you put them in a bakery, they'd ice the shit out of cakes.
Oh, man. Yeah, the way that they could spackle.
Oh, my God.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about spackle when it comes down to it.
Duke University.
It was a good time. Not really, but it was like
You got a good degree out of it. You ended up all right.
Yeah, of course. There's no way I would have gotten in there if it wasn't for baseball.
Oh, no.
No one gets in there. Unless you have, the thing about all of those universities, as everyone knows from like the Lori Loughlin thing, is like, I'd say 50-60% of the school bought their way in.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Through like a donation or something. Like I remember my first like econ class. I was sitting next to this dude who I, met out one of the first nights. I was like, there's no way I'm going to get crushed by this class. Like we compared like SAT scores.
Mm-hmm.
I had like a 650 in math or something, which is like fine. It's a good score.
Right.
And he was like, I got I barely broke 500. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? He didn't play a sport.
Huh.
He was just like, there was a whole sect of people who just like parents like bought their way in.
Oh, yeah.
You find that like on my hall was like the girls who lived a floor above me. I never saw them in the dining hall the first year. And I was like, what the fuck? How do they eat? Like, I've never seen them out. And one of my buddies was like, oh, they're like uber wealthy. Like Kushner, like Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
Like one of the girls was related to like that family.
Oh, yeah.
And she was friends with this other girl, Capelli, who was like, her dad was like Trump's business partner.
Oh, okay.
It was like that kind of people.
Yeah.
Where you like don't
It's old money.
You don't even know how rich, like
you can't really grasp it.
It's mind-boggling how much money some of the people had. Like McClendon. There was a whole tower named after this girl's family. She went to Duke. And her dad was like, owned like some distribution arm of like BP oil.
Oh, wow.
Like that kind of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Billionaires.
That's not really the case of Cortland.
No.
Yeah, at Cortland, I was like, what did you get on the SAT? And they said, what?
What?
I said, that SAT, the standardized test. And they said, I didn't take that.
I've just been wandering in here because I liked the smell of the footballs that you guys were throwing around in one of these classes. Just how to throw a football class, like an entire semester of like, you hold the seams, throw it overhand.
Right. Everyone, it's not good when I'm a comedian and I'm the one doing the best out of all my friends. That's not good.
No.
None of my friends are doing all right.
Yeah, because this is like, you got like two jobs, basically. You got your day job.
I got a day job, which I got from a kid from Harvard.
That's true. See, it pays to be.
It's all that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Cortland got me nothing.
No, it won't. And they tell you that when you come in.
They say when you sit down, when you're making your first class. First of all, my what's it called? Your guidance counselor in college.
Yeah.
So like at Duke, that's their job, is like to be your counselor.
Help you get a
right.
job.
Cortland, the professors, they have to also be a counselor.
Oh.
So my counselor, my junior year, he just left. And when I was like, oh, who should I go to now? He said, I don't know, but good luck with it. And I was like, you know what? He's right.
He's right.
I'm not. I expected too much from him.
Yeah. The college brochure was just like a bunch of guys being like, yeah, I'm not really sure. Like that's what it says on the front. Like you could maybe Maybe you'll get a job. Who knows? You'll stay in the Northeast for sure.
Their big thing was, it is cheap though, right? That's Cortland's big thing.
You'll be close to the Jets training camp.
Right. They're like, the Jets practice here. And I'm like, oh, can we get a job with them? And they said, no, but you could see them in July.
Stay away from them. They're also really bad.
They're also really bad. Everything here is awful.
The Jets are the SUNY Cortland of the NFL.
Yeah. They really
I think
are.
they rub off on each other.
When I was a senior, my whole time there, they were building this brand new student center. I think it cost $10 million, and it's not good. The gym's awful. Everything in there is useless. And we were like, you know what would have been great to invest this $10 million in? Us. That would have been a great idea.
Some people who know things.
Right.
Yeah.
I know people when I was at Cortland that are still there who are my age.
Trying to graduate.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
I swear to God.
What are you, you're 27?
27.
That's too long.
It's too long.
Has anyone told them that?
It doesn't matter.
And also, the college degree means nothing, which
useless. Completely
which we don't need
useless.
to get into now.
Right, we don't have time. 9 minutes. I mean, I've stated how I think it's useless so many times on stage, on this podcast, here and there.
It's a scam. It's a complete scam. It's the new form of indentured servitude to corporate America.
Right.
They put you in this crazy amount of debt. Most of these schools.
Right.
So
Not if you go to SUNY Cortland.
Not if you go to SUNY Cortland because it's very cheap, and then.
But then you just don't get a job.
Yeah.
So it's.
Yeah. Like the only way for me to pay off this is to teach phys ed for 50 years. If I put away $25 a month for, they do the math. Like, here's the gym coach math.
That's the type of people Cortland attracts, is the people that talk about retirement.
Yeah.
They're like, what? I'm just going to be a part. I'm going to be a part of the NYPD, work for 20 years, cash out, get a nice house in South Carolina.
Pensions. They talk a lot about.
Big pension school.
They go to the places that still have pensions, which is firefighters.
Yep.
Teachers.
No, firefighter, like, I'm the type of trash where, like, firefighter is talked about equal to doctor.
Yeah.
So, like, med school, I know, very hard to get into. FDNY, equally as hard.
This is a hot take, and this comes from I have a family of firefighters. How often are fires needing to be put out these days? Most of them are put out by sprinklers in the ceiling.
People aren't talking about this.
And why do entire professions need to be built around the occasional fire? Like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you taught me how to use a hose, I could go put out a fire at someone's house.
Right.
It doesn't need to be a full-time job because most of it is watching porn in a theater that was paid for by taxpayers. Do you know what I'm getting at when I say that?
Yeah, I didn't know they were watching porn. I thought they were making chili.
Making chili. Well, I should have explained why I said porn, because in my hometown, Bedford Hills, like, they have like a movie theater.
Okay.
In the fucking firehouse.
Oh.
And like, one of the things from one of my buddies who is still there on the fire brigade and the fire department was like, yeah, like, sometimes we're just like throw on porn and everyone like watches it together, and like that's what we do.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But that's volunteer, is it not?
No, that's like,
Oh, they're paid?
yeah.
Oh. Long
Yeah.
Island, no paid firemen. It's all volunteer.
In Pound Ridge, it's all volunteer. But it's like some places it's like full time.
What a weird, something that could be life or death, completely volunteer. What a weird thing to not want to pay taxes for.
Yeah, of all things,
Right.
You know, like, we're paying taxes for like admin on paperwork.
We're putting so much money into our library. My
Not-
dad has never read a book.
No,
And he'll talk about it
as a source of pride.
the same way people talk about how they've read 10 books in a month. My dad talks about never reading a book in his life.
Yeah,
My dad's never read a book. He had to take the English state exam,
Yeah.
and they asked him to write a summary of one of the books he ever read,
Yeah.
but he never read a book, so he just made up a book.
Uh,
I forgot what the title was. I'm going to say Don Mattingly, player in person, but that wasn't the player. He's going to text me when he listens to this. I forgot who the player, and he just summed up the guy's life.
that's great. That's exactly the technique I used as a sophomore in high school. I just made up a book for summer reading one year
Right.
as a book report. I had to give an oral presentation, and I just made up a book.
But that was so easy for us because we had Spark Notes.
Yeah.
Whenever a teacher said, you have to read this book, you will not get away if you read the Spark Notes, you got away with reading the Spark Notes every time. My mom was all like, oh, you should sit down and study. And my dad's like, study?
No.
He's got to hit the weight room for football in the morning, and then he's got a hockey game at night. What are you talking about?
He's got everything he needs to know right here. Right here, he's got everything.
Right. Well, I bought a new Harry Potter book, and he'd just be like, pfft.
Harry Potter book.
You should be outside hitting the tee. Instead, you're in here reading your gay books.
Did he try to make you hit off a tee or do sports?
We had I had the baseball on the metal pole, and he put the metal pole in the cement and like a Home Depot thing, and then I would hit that. That was my big thing.
Hit it like around the pole?
Yep, and then it would spin back, and I'd hit it and spin back.
So he'd like throw it?
No, and then we'd go outside, and he would throw me batting practice. We probably did that.
Oh.
That was at least once a week, maybe twice a week.
Ah.
I was good. Nice. I was good. And then it was like I burned out.
You burned out doing it once or twice a week?
That was just with him on top of practices and seminars and all of that.
Yeah, it'll burn you out.
And like in the winter, like I was one of those guys who was like, I'd be taking like fielding practice and there was snow.
Yeah, yeah. I was that dude.
Right. And I was like, once you hit like 15, 16, you're like.
If you're not like really good, like incredibly good right off the bat, like I don't think it makes a lot of sense to continue pursuing it. I think it's like a pure like talent thing.
Well, in my town, like all the best kids would then go to an all-star team, you know, and I wanted to do that. But the problem was the all-star teams were filled with ghetto kids and ghetto areas. So my dad's like, no, we're not going to do that. And I was pushing him. I wanted to play for the Brentwood Indians. That's who I wanted to play for. And I was like, I want to play. He's like, well, you're not playing. And then one day we had a big discussion about it. The next morning, 2 people shot on the baseball field of that team. And he's like, that's why you don't play for them.
2 people shot on the baseball field.
On the field. Not
I imagine
related
it was like,
to the team.
I was imagining it was related to the game. Like a guy hit a home run and was like trotting around the bases and
then shot.
The pitcher shot him and then someone from the opposing team shot the pitcher.
Right.
There's a gunfight on the middle of the field.
No, you all have to put your guns in the dugout.
No guns on first base, guys. Once you get past second base, lots of guns.
Guns are available.
Yeah, stealing takes on a totally different meaning. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking taking third base. Here I come. You're running with the gun around the bases.
Right, that was the hard part.
Shooting the catcher. Like the ball's like gets you at home plate and they fucking gun them down, touch home plate.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to hit the catcher anymore when they had the ball at home, but you were allowed to still shoot him. The shooting was okay. Glock.
Brandish it. Do you still want to touch home plate? Do you still want to block it? That's fun.
That's a good time. But yeah, I don't know. That's everything I got.
Yeah. How are we doing? We're
almost there.
We're basically there. You make it an effort to go an hour.
I try to hit an hour around an hour.
Yeah. Have you not? Has anyone like tapped out at an hour? Like before an hour?
Everyone. Well,
where's Taylor, by the way? Isn't he the?
He came over today's Sunday. He came over Friday.
Gotcha.
And since Thanksgiving is coming up, I'm not going to be able to record an episode.
Yeah.
So I thought have someone come over on Sunday, record. I'll be good for 2 weeks.
There you go.
Then Taleli said I can't make it, and that's why you're here.
Fuck you, Taleli.
But you had nothing else going on anyway.
I'm making a lamb shank today, so what else do I got going on? I got a lot of things. Personal growth, development.
Right.
It's all about that. It's all about growing. Baby!
One shank at a time.
One shank. It's going to fall apart right off the bone. It's going to be delicious.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Well, it's in your instincts.
Yeah, I don't even have to do anything.
No, right. Like a dog knows to stare at a squirrel when it runs by, a Greek kid knows how to prepare a lamb shank.
I don't even know the ingredients, but they're all waiting for me at Whole Foods. I told you I was shopping before, and I blacked out. I'll just go pick them up, and then it's like a meditation.
Where is there a Whole Foods by you?
Houston.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I used to get their hot bar.
Oh, yeah. It's overpriced, everything.
And it's all overpriced.
It's so crazy. But you go pick up the groceries. Amazon has won capitalism.
Oh, yeah, they're doing a great job.
It's amazing.
Doing a fantastic job. And plus, you live in Chinatown. There's really no other options.
No, there's a Trader Joe's.
Oh, is there?
It's like kind of far away, though. Trader Joe's is dog shit. I don't. People are like, wait in line for Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
It's so what the they don't have anything.
They have like chocolate covered bananas, and they're like, nowhere else has this, and you're like, yeah, for a reason.
I don't want that.
Right? Who wants this shit?
People are waiting in line. I see it every day. It's like a Target, Whole Foods, and like I gotta get like
that one, the Target Whole Foods, yeah,
by where we had lunch. And I'm like, I walked in there one time, and they like don't have meat. They like don't.
They don't have like basic produce.
Yeah, it's made for like vegans and gals.
Right.
Mostly, those are kind of the same overlapping things, right?
You have Whole Foods, you have Trader Joe's, and then you have the wet market that has the fish on the sidewalk. That's your neighborhood.
I eat out of the wet market.
Right.
That's exclusively all wet market produce, and I'll get the bat from time to time. How hack is that at this point? Just saying.
It's pretty hack, but no one's saying it anymore. So I guess it's back.
I wanted to think of the other one. It was like armadillo. There was like something between.
A pangolin.
Did you ever read like the what's that?
Pangolin.
Pangolin.
Yeah, it was like an armadillo.
Yeah. That was the poll that I was looking for that, and I couldn't find it.
Pangolin.
So I went to bat.
All right.
This
was a good ep.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, man.
No thanks to Taleli.
Yeah, fuck you, Taleli.
This will come out next Monday. I don't even know what today's date is. December 2nd, this will come out. Wow, December.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This has been
a hell of a year.
Just, yeah, wow, wild. Year's almost over.
All right.
Adios.
Hey-o.